Okay, so after going into the memory of the old Iron King and beating Sir Alone with Dusty, we have the last Smelter Wedge in our inventory to get the final soul fragment of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. The final thing we have to do. Stab these creepy motherfuckers in the heart. Like we're vampire slayers, man. Kinda awesome. Has anyone else thought this DLC was kick-ass? Because I certainly did. Yeah! Oh! Soul of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. Nadalia is no more. True Soul of Nadalia acquired. Cool. So she like split her soul into different beings, like these flesh things. That's cool. I can't wait to see some who comes up out lore with that. I mean, all this stuff can be interpreted many different ways, but usually there's a way that makes more sense than the others. Or at least that I agree with more. That's kind of an opinion thing. So, what is his inscription? In the act of dancing? Oh, now she's a dancer? The Bride of Ash was transfigured as smoke, entrancing people to her riddance, and so her seat of power came to be known as Brume Tower. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, now that we actually have her soul, and Sir Alone's soul, and the Fume Knight's soul, and I assume it's Fume. It may just be Fume. Dusty pointed that out to me. I may be overthinking things. So I want to just go back to the her throne there and just check out if anything has changed now. Anything funky going on down here? I don't think. See, it's weird because I thought maybe you pick up the crown here and get the last soul. We got the soul from him, but not from here. We just got the crown from here. So I was just wondering if like this was supposed to be the last place you would come, but I don't like the old Iron King's memory of that statue of armor up top didn't trigger until after I had killed the Fume Knight and gotten the crown. I think you need the crown to trigger that, so that's probably what you're expected to do the last one. And I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if killing the ones around here, there were 4 around here, were necessary, because none of them dropped me a soul. However, I do think they would have powered up the boss in some way. Either healed him, made him stronger, I don't know. I didn't want to find out. That guy was hard enough on his own with no buffs. Okay, so since nothing's going on down here, except being really creepy, got one more place I'd like to check. Okay, back at the top of the tower. Just out of curiosity. This had such a good intro. Like, remember when we first got here and then the thing popped out here? That was great. Like, that just settled you up. I was just wondering if there might be something here. Okay. So it's funny that that armor there is, Sir Alone. Like, that's who we fight, and it's his armor, but it's, like, the memory of the old Iron King. And, like, the lore on him is, like, he was a faithful knight of, like, Vendrick, though, not, the Iron King, so that's kind of weird. Okay, now that we actually have these souls, let's go check out what we can get with them from various people. Okay, Strayed. You got anything for me?
Well,
I don't think Strayed will. He never has any new weapons. That's usually Ornifex who has new weapons. Like, he seems to have, like, these set, mostly early boss weapons. Like, nothing you wouldn't have by the time you reached him. Except maybe Smelter, depending on what way you went. Ooh, what is that? Soul of Nadalia. Outcry. Pyromancy of Nadalia, Bride of Ash, sprouts multiple dark flames. Oh, shit. This child of dark, bearing inconceivable strength, found herself. So, Alma. Like, guys, anyone else? I can't be the only one. Like, Nadalia is Alma, right? Herself, kingless, land devoid of soul. So she's like one who found, like the other two, like, the Squalid Queen and Nashandra both like had a king, but like she got there too late or something. Like it sucks. And her journeying there has all condemned herself to a fate most wretched. So I like the lore on her best so far, to be honest. She seems pretty cool. But this looks awesome. Outcry. I knew there were some good pyromancies. Like we picked up that one that was pretty sick, and I think I might have missed some more. I mean, like I said, when I was looking to get into that memory, I went through the level twice, so I didn't find anything new, but I feel like I'm still missing stuff. So Outcry. I really want this, but let me just go see. Like this build doesn't use pyromancy, but I have other builds that could certainly incorporate that. So Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to show it off to you. I mean, I could just throw on a ring, but let me just see what else other people will offer me. Okay, so... And I haven't traded anything with Ornifex yet in this game, so everything would be free. That's kind of nice. Let's see. Okay, we got the Fume Knight Sword. I've seen people already running around with his armor and his weapons, so I know you can get both of his weapons, or at least this one, and maybe his other one was a common weapon. And I haven't figured out where to get his armor yet, and I'm really interested in getting, like, it'd be cool if you could get, like, full, like this Smelter Demon, not the old one that's all, like, decrepit and his horns are worn down, like this new one with the horns. That would be so sick. I also saw people with, like, a bull mask, those ones that breathe fire. So I'm interested. I don't know where you get that. I gotta figure this out. So let's see. The Exile Swordsman, Rami? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, along with many other things, had the ability to expunge the black fog, but chose instead to live alongside it, in the company of the Child of Dark that haunts his sword. Ooh, so she's like part of his sword? Interesting. Now, see, now between, like the dude we just fought, Sir Alone, and this guy, the Fume Knight, I'm getting a very Artorias vibe. Like, these two could be, like, descendants of Artorias, you know what I mean? They very similar stories, and actually similar fights. Like, I would consider Artorias to be one of the tougher fights in Dark Souls 1. Let's see, what else do we got? Defender looking glass. Oh, here's his other sword, Fume Sword. I didn't even look at the... oh, wow, that's an S with strength. And you also need 30 dex, so that's a pretty high quality build. I could pull that off if I two-handed it, or if I wore the strength ring, I think. So that's pretty cool. The Fume Knight Sword. Okay, same description, but that's pretty cool that you can get both of his weapons. I assume you can power stance those, which would be unique. Bewitched Alone Sword. Oh, dude, is this Sir Alone Sword? Because that was a sick sword. Like, that guy was awesome. Like, straight up Yoshimitsu right there. So cool. Katana forged from the soul of Sir Alone. The captivating, undulating design serves to enhance the weapon's mystical allure. Alone came from the east, and soon became the Iron King's most trusted knight. When he departed, the old Iron King bequeathed Sir Alone's name to his Iron Warriors. Okay, so basically, that's why they're all called Alone Knights. Alone? It's probably Alone, not Alone, because, you know, Sir, that's just funny. I don't know, sometimes, like, the translation from when they name these things, and then when they actually translate to, like, English, like, I don't know, everything is kind of funny. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually interested in this sword because I could definitely use it, and I didn't see that you could trade his stuff for anything else, so I'm probably going to get Sir Alone's sword because I could use it, and it's a badass sword. Let me just check real quick. Soul of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. Chime of Screams. Dude, this is so Alma. She's so Alma. Nadalia is definitely Alma. Okay. Bride of Ash, nothing appears sacred about the frightful design of this chime, but does not have the benefit of raising one's faith. Ooh. The oozing frozen iron forming on the bell seems to anticipate a scream. Okay. Interesting. If I was a... I don't even really have a good cleric build, so that's interesting. I like the description on all of her stuff. It's just so creepy. I love it. Okay, that seems to be about it. So I'm gonna pick up... this sword for sure. Yeah, I think it's worth it. I mean, Stray didn't have anything else, and no one else trades souls for anything. I hope.
Come back again.
Okay, so to save myself some time, I went and looked it up, and as it turns out, Marigold over here should be selling me most of the armor. And this makes sense because we are in, like, the old Iron Kingdom, and that's where we just kind of, like, again, it's like bringing back that subject of, like, are we in a different time? Are we just traveling to a different area? And I think this time we were in a different time for sure, because if you can actually look out this way, see that tower out there? It's kind of hard to tell from here, but there are two towers out there, and that one over there has a lot of building structures built into it. And I believe that's where the DLC takes place. We're going to head back out there, basically come full circle from where we started to where we're going to end. And I just want to show my theory that I think that was where we were for the DLC. So, Marigold, my buddy, who I often forget Marigold is even here, let alone that he could sell armor. Because I know he sells the Dragon Rider set in New Game Plus. And look at that. Aw, man. Yeah, I always forget he's out here. He's like one vendor. I completely forget. I'm like, well, I checked all the vendors, so that does it. But then I always forget Marigold's out here. The only time I think about him is when I need spices. So he's got the Dragon Rider set, which is pretty cool, and I do want to get. I'm not sure what triggers that. I think you just have to be a New Game Plus. Then we got, yes, Alone's helmet. Oh, we're buying all of this. We got the souls. So cool. And the Fume Knight, or Rami's helmet. Okay, and I don't know if it's Rami's. I'm not sure. And you know what? I got the souls. I'm gonna buy the Dragon Rider stuff too, just because I haven't bought that before. Nice, good stuff, man.
Cheers.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so out where the Iron King, the old Iron King, the original fight is where I think the DLC takes place. See over there? See those two towers? At very least the one, if nothing else, the one. The second one may have been the one where Smelter was and crumbled even more. Right? Like, think about it, right? This area, in theory, and I do believe it, that the whole area, and it's really well supported, that the whole area here, the kingdom, sunk. It literally sunk into lava. If you think back when we were in the DLC and we looked out, like we were on the tower, and we looked out anywhere, we saw a lot of like molten land, like rocky land, but a lot of molten land all covered in the spot. So I think the whole area, the whole kingdom just sunk, just completely sunk. And out there is the tower where the DLC takes place. And that's really cool because this was here before that, and that's just, I don't know, I think that's awesome. That could be there. The chains could have easily rotted off and fallen off, and everything else is just structure now that's built into the rock, and that's all that survived after all this time. So I thoroughly believe that's the DLC over there. When we get back into the DLC, I just kind of want to go up there and then look around, see if we can see anything like this, maybe a top of a tower, maybe like a top like that or anything, to fully confirm. Because that's just pretty. I'm pretty sure. If that's not, I'd be surprised because that's pretty awesome. Okay, we got the Bewitched. It's called the Bewitched, right? Yeah, Bewitched Elone Sword. Interesting. I love the way it looks though. It's pretty damn cool. Like an awesomely long katana. Definitely a two-hander. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Rolling. Oh man, I'm fat rolling. Running. Dude, I wish I could backstep like he could. He could like fly backwards. Let's see if we can one-hand it. One hand. Kind of like the one hand. Right trigger. Right trigger 2. Rolling. And then running. Pretty damn cool. Jumping? I like that. Yeah, man, I like this. It's pretty damn. I like the range of the weapon is huge. It's a pretty thick sword. Okay, I probably actually would end up using that one. This one. Okay, I can two-hand it. Right trigger, right trigger. Oh, I mean right bumper and then right trigger, and then out of stamina. No. Damn, that takes up a lot of stamina. Okay. So I wonder if we put it in our. Do you think if we put it in our left hand, it would make a difference? Doesn't he hold that one in his left hand? I'm trying to think. No, maybe that was his right. One-handed. Oh shit. Okay. Our right trigger. One-handed right trigger again, and again. That's pretty deadly. I'm usually not a too big fan of like great swords like these. They are fun, but they're usually not my go-to weapons. Right bumper. Not bad. Rolling attack, right bumper. Okay. I think that's what most of them are, usually. And then backstep. Okay. Not bad. I wonder if it... Let me just check real quick, see if that would make a difference if I put it in my left hand. And I wonder, you know, also I wonder if it would make a difference if I could actually wield it. Let me throw on the strength ring. I don't think I'm going to have enough, though. No, still can't wield it. Oh, well. No, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Though it might make a difference if I actually met the requirements, so I might not know. Okay, I do dig Alone's armor here. That helmet is pretty damn cool. Like, it's totally... I mean, it's definitely got, like, that Eastern, like, samurai kind of vibe going, but I also feel like it's got a Yoshimitsu thing sort of going on, like... I don't know, I dig that helmet. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I could rock this. I could totally rock this. This is probably one of my favorite boss armors so far. I also got, like, that Shiva of the East feel going. I like this. Pretty damn cool. Let's see about the description. They're probably all the same. From the East, chose to serve a little-known and established lord. Sir Alone came to this land from the East, chose to serve a little-known and unestablished lord, and helped him become the old Iron King. So wait, didn't it say he was Vendrick's knight? No, maybe that was Maybe that was someone else. Maybe that was the Fume Knight? Yeah, maybe I'm getting him and Rami mixed up. So maybe this was the guy who helped the old Iron King. Okay, cool. So he helped. That would make more sense because then all of the knights are named after him. Then, at the very peak of his sire's rule, Sir Elone set out again in search of lands yet unknown. Okay, that's a pretty cool backstory. I like that. So out of nowhere he came. He helped the old Iron King become a great and powerful king. And then when he was at the top of his power, he just left. That's awesome. That's actually really cool. I'm digging this guy. Like, this guy was in a memory, hidden, optional boss, looks badass, and has a really cool fight. Like, not like the Fume Knight was really hard, and I would say in some parts a little unfair, like it makes it tough. I appreciate the challenge, but Sir Alone was like a very even fight, and I enjoyed it a lot more, just for that reason, because I didn't die like 50 times. So yeah, pretty cool armor. I like this. Okay, and Rami's set. Okay, now if that's not a little bit Artorias, I don't know what is. Like, I even want to, like, where is the Majestic Greatsword? Hold on now. Like, if that's not one of the closest things to Artorias, like this guy, if anyone's a descendant of Artorias, it's got to be this guy, right? Like, yeah, you can see it. You can just see it if you just think, use your imagination a little bit. That's definitely Artorias right there. The helmet's like the armor's a little different, but even like just because it's all battle scarred because of what he went through, that's pretty awesome. He's got cool looking armor. I do like the helmet. I assume, let's see, let me just check because I didn't check the other. Yeah, they're all the same. The rebel Rami, after his defeat at the hands of Velstad. Ooh! Oh, shit got real. He fought Velstad. Came to Brume Tower in search of greater strength. When he found it, it came not from a regular father figure like before, but from a newfound mother who gave him true purpose. Okay, I dig these guys' background stories. This has been some really good lore here. Like, he fought Velstad at one point. Like, that's just sick. Those two fighting, that's a cool thought. Because honestly, like, this guy, and Sir Elone and then Velstad, guys like that, like, that's got a very, like, how Gwen had his 4 knights. And like, I know they weren't all the same, but like, these are like kind of like the knights. Definitely reincarnated. Like, if anything, Velstad would kind of be, he'd be a bit more like Artorias, but maybe like a bit like Hawkeye Goth. And this guy'd be, I mean, he's even got like the Artorias vibe. I mean, you get Artorias' sword, which this is Artorias' sword, let's be frank, from this DLC. And then this guy's in the DLC, like, so I don't know, the connections there, they're there. I'm not making like solid ground connections, but I'm definitely getting like a reincarnation of Artorias vibe off of this guy. But no, I like this guy. And then like, really, like, I don't know, like they use the term mother there, like that's such an Alma Wade thing. Someone has to know what I'm talking about. Nadalia has to be Alma, right? Like, she has to be Alma. She must have come to the Dark Souls universe. Has to be. No, that's gonna be, I'm gonna make a lore video on this. Like, Nadalia is Alma. Straight up, like I might do that. Okay, this is pretty cool. I think I like this armor a little bit better. I like how it's kind of like chic and like battle worn and rugged. Yeah, I could see myself making it like an Artorias build off of this. This could be cool. Yeah, I like these two guys, Sir Alone and Rami's lore. Really sick lore. I'm not just saying that either. It's like, this is some of the best lore I've seen in the game so far. At least that interests me. There was good lore in the main game, but I don't know, like this stuff just really interests me. So this is cool. This was really cool. Okay, so we're back over to the entrance of the DLC, and I just wanted to point out that, like, that's what I was talking about, how the land is, like, rugged. It's all rock, but you can see lava, like, little pools everywhere, so easily the whole kingdom here, if heavy enough, could sink into the ground if the whole ground is this unstable. And if you look at this tower carefully, I really do think you can see a resemblance the two towers near each other. Even if that one sunk, the main one, if nothing else, survived, because it was the biggest. So I think this is like a branch of the whole kingdom over there. And then this was like probably more of the kingdom where we came from, which makes sense. We'll try to get another look from over there. Well, I mean, you can kind of see it from here, but there's no real like exactly like the tip of the structure I was looking for. What was that? Did you guys hear that? What was that? And And I do like how these knights are here. Like, we don't see any of these knights later on. I didn't really make the connection for, but these are definitely Dran Lake warrior knights. Well, not warrior, but at least knights from Dran Lake. So, it's cool to think that they tried to take the castle here, but failed. Because it seems like, it's hard to tell, but it seems like the old Iron King and Vendrick are not the same people, and they, if they lived at the same time, they'd be at each other's throats. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't quite see the connect. Oh, what's that noise? That's scaring me now. Just like this tower is actually considered a haunted tower, so I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have all the creepy Nadalia, Alma Wade stuff going on, and just when you thought everything here was dead, it totally isn't. So yeah, you could definitely see that. I mean, it would be more like out that way, I suppose. So, all right, guys. So that's basically it. We've done the DLC. This was a really good DLC. Like the first one, I was happy with, and why do I keep making noises? I don't know. I'm gonna ignore that for now. This tower is so creepy and haunted. And that's another thing I liked about this is usually this game doesn't try to be like creepy. Like you wouldn't consider Dark Souls a horror game, but I think between like the fleshy Nadalia things, the creepy like noises and chanting and stuff like that, it was just I love it. I love it a little bit. It did have like a fear and like almost like a Dead Spacious vibe, and I mean that in a very high regard. And the whole level design very felt like I said, a lot like a Zelda design, specifically like the snow and the ice with the mechanical tower, a lot like Snowhead Temple from Majora's Mask. And I mean that in a very complimentary way. I thought that was very well done. I liked the vibe. And the whole design was very good. It was unlike most Dark Souls. Like, you run here, you kill the boss, you keep running forward. That's most of the game. And then sometimes double back. Here it was kind of like you go down, you find a secret passage, you activate a switch that gets the tower moving, then that brings you to another place where you can get a key, then you double back to a main door, then you fight a boss, and then like I don't know, I thought it was really good. I liked let's see, how you could have there are 2 co-op spots here, not just one, so they're kind of opening it more to people, trying to get more people into the DLC. And I said the first one, I felt like the first DLC was a bit pricey, and just comparing the two that are currently out, I mean, the first one I would say was a little bit pricey. I thought it should be more like $8. This DLC, I felt was completely worth my money. The $10 was worth it, in my opinion. And that'll factor depending on what you really like, but I thought the level design here was good. The DLC lasted me longer. It took more time to figure things out. The enemies were difficult without being just bullshit where you keep dying over and over and it's just not fun. The common enemies were tough and were what common enemies should be. The Nadalia flesh things that buffed everything were found thing. I mean, I felt like it was very interesting. Like, they're not hostile directly, but they're definitely not your ally, and they're making the enemies work against you. What is happening? What is happening to me? I don't even know. Some of the like possessed armor, those warrior things were really interesting. I felt like they were very unpredictable and difficult to fight. The giants, like the headless giants spewing fire, was sick. The little guys that carried the barrel were like suicides. They were very like passive aggressive. I liked them. Some of the hidden rooms and puzzles were difficult. Some of the ambushes were great. The bosses were really good. I did enjoy the bosses. The Fume Knight is easily the hardest boss in the game for me, in my opinion. I thought about it, and he's definitely got to be the hardest, and that seems to be the general consensus among the community at the moment. Nadalia's background story is awesome. I like how the tower does feel like a very snowy, ancient, like not really ancient, but like snowy, iced over, like once was a great, like powerful mechanical place. And all the fire has kind of become iced over. Then you got like the smelter revamped fight, which was pretty good. I like the whole caves down there. I like the memory of the old Iron King. Sir Alone was a pretty cool fight. Enemy placement there was excellent. And just everything else about the design, the level design. This has got to be, if I had to pick, like if I had to tell you, like, oh, what was your favorite area in Dark Souls 2? Right now, I think right here it would be my favorite. Like Brume Tower, the way everything is constructed and laid out, very well done. I had a lot of fun playing it. It was so indirect. It felt like there were a lot of ways to go. Even though the DLC as a whole is probably about the same size as the last DLC, this DLC felt bigger, felt more vast. Like there were many ways to go, and it just worked out really well. We got some cool weapons. We got some awesome armor. We fought some cool guys. We had some nice lore, and we got made out with a really cool helmet. So this was a lot of fun, guys. I want to thank you guys all for watching. I really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to the last one, although this one right here I'm so pleased with this one that I'm really looking forward to the next one even more than I was previously. And not restored my faith, but really enjoyed this DLC. I thought it was excellent. So much fun. So that's going to be it for me, guys. I thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And until next time, I'll catch you later.